Good day. My name is George Hogup. I'm your tutor for crime prevention principles in your diploma policing. This session is an assignment and examination based contact class session for the 17th of June 2017. Now, just an overview of your scope. What we are going to deal with here is I'm going to introduce myself, the aims of the contact classes, what do we want, structure of the assignments, continuous assessment and the calculation thereof, the assignment preparation and tips, examination preparation and tips, the course outline, and conclude. Now, just to give you a short description of what I do, I have a BTech degree, Forensic Investigation, UNISA, 2011. For 20 years, almost more than 20 years, I've been a police officer. I've got basic training, which I received in 1993. I'm having certificates in basic criminal investigation training, the specialized investigation training, unit commanders training, supervision for warrant officers training. I've held positions as an investigator starting in 1994 in Kitmanzur until April 98. I was a unit commander at the Karasburg Criminal Investigation Unit between 98 and 99. I was an investigator as well as a second in command at the Motor Vehicle Theft Unit from 99 to 2000. Late 99 to 2000. Was also an investigator at the Serious Crime Unit in Windhoek. Serious Crime Unit obviously investigated matters throughout the country. I stayed with them from 2000 mid to April 2004. I was also a unit commander at Criminal Investigation Unit at Swakopmund since April 2004 to 2007 November. Then I joined the regional headquarters of the Namibian Police as the staff officer in the Regional Crime Investigation Coordinator's Office. I've acted as the Regional Crime Investigation Coordinator from time to time. I've also been a guest lecturer at the Israel Patrick Iambo College, which is a police training college at the Criminal Investigation Training Wing. That was from 98 to 2002. Currently, I'm employed as a financial intelligence analyst at the Financial Intelligence Center, Bank of Namibia. I was an analyst, started out in 2013 to February 2015. Then became a senior analyst since February 2015 to date. Now, the aims of this contract class is to basically prepare you for assignments and examinations that you will have in due course. And the idea is basically to give you best possible change that you will do well. Also discuss the assignments and examination structures, explain continuous assessments and the calculation of the marks. Now, the structure of the assignment consists of the following. It contains two main questions, of which both had sub questions. An example, question 1 has 1.1 to 1.4, whilst question 2 has 2.1 to 2.2 subsections. Questions are from the study guide provided by IOL. Believe you having it in your possession. You may be expected to discuss, outline, define, list, analyze, and name certain facts that you've learned throughout. And the mark allocation is ranging from 4 points to 30 marks for the questions and sub-questions. Now, as for the continuous assessment calculations, the inclusion of the continuous assessment and calculations of the mark in this presentation is to ensure that you, as a student, both assignment and examination marks, or that you'll take these assignment and examination marks seriously and align your studies accordingly. The continuous assessment by the model consists of one assignment of 120 marks. 50% continuous assessment mark is required for admission to examination. So you will understand that you need to have a 50% assessment in order to be admitted to the examination. The duration of the examination for 12 credits is 2.5 hours, 2 hours 30 minutes, written examination of 120 marks. You will also, as in a final pass mark of 50% is required, calculated by 60% of the examination mark and 40% of the continuous assessment mark. A sub-minimum of 50% must be attained in the examination. So you can't score less than 50 and expect to have a passing mark if you are below 50. For example, suppose assignment continuous assessment mark is 50 and the examination mark is 50 as well. 40%, you'll calculate it, 40% of 50 equals 20, which is usually taken 50 times 40 divided by 100. And then as for the 60% of 50 gives you 30%, which is calculated 50 times 60 divided by 100. The final mark is then obviously 50. The setting and marking of the examinations papers are moderated. So now, in order for you to prepare your assignment, it is expected from you to carefully read in the assignment before all your assignments. Please read them carefully before answering them. Carefully read the topic in the module to prepare the correct answer. It was found in many a time that you've taken, or students take, a different section of a similar topic and put it into the one that has been required. So it is for that reason that you need to prepare, look at the questions, see if what you are going to do now is the correct answer. Consult, which will obviously include to consult study guide to prepare correct answers. Consult the relevant experience personnel that may be of assistance in the field of policing. For example, you can ask questions from the tutors. If you don't understand something, please ask. And then you can ask from whoever is out there that is in the field. But please do not ask police officers to do the assignment for you. It's not going to give you the relevant experience that you would need for what you are studying now. Because you would want to know these basic things to become an officer one other day. You are not limited to provide me strictly with the answers that are in the study guide. You may provide answers, but they must remain relevant. Attach the correct assignment cover to the assignment to avoid disqualification. Most of the students also has the same problem of attaching the wrong cover to the right assignment. In that case, you may find your assignment sent back, and you'll definitely lose the point. So please ensure that you do use the correct assignment cover for the correct assignment. Write legibly and clearly. Number your answers according to the assignment questions. We may concede, or I will concede if you don't number them accordingly, but then they must remain relevant and they must be numbered in such a way that I would understand and give you the relevant marks. Look at the marks before you write something. If there are 10 marks or if there are 20 marks given, if you give me 10 marks or 10 answers only, I may not be able to look for answers for you. So please, that brings me to you refraining from or avoiding dumping irrelevant facts together with relevant facts, because this may cause you to lose some points. If you give me 30 instead of 20 points, I may only mark up to, if you give me 30, I will only mark the first 20 and your answer may be in the last 10. So please avoid dumping irrelevant facts with relevant facts. As for the examination, please write clearly and legibly. I mean, we cannot overemphasize the fact that your handwriting should be readable. I should be able to read it and find the answer that you want me to have in it. Structure your answers through headings and numbers and logical sequence. Yeah, please retain the sequences and numbering. It does happen that you may not be able to answer all the questions at the same, or you've answered the wrong question, but mark it mark it in such a way that I would be able to recognize that this question is actually supposed to be at 1.3 and not at 9.1. Make sure that your student number and all the details that are required or requested are written correctly and on the answer sheet. Write in blue or black ink. You should remember that cheating in the examination will result in a failing grade. Serious steps will be taken against any individual who disturbs an examination session. Please avoid dumping irrelevant facts. At the same time, you may lose points. There are also examination instructions that you will find. Usually it's on the sheet that you will have to complete. Read them carefully. No unauthorized material, notes, technical devices may be in your possession whilst in the exam room. The warning that should go to you is, should you be responsible for any irregularities during the writing of the examinations, the following may happen to you. The head of examination or the invigilator will collect your answering sheet and evidence. You will be requested to give an explanation as to what has happened in writing. The answer script and evidence will be forwarded to the irregularity committee for verification. No examination marks will be counting towards that particular subject. You will be suspended for studies for that particular subject at IOL for 12 months or 2 consecutive examination sessions. It is an infringement of the examination regulation to assist or try to assist another student, or to ask anything from that person and to receive anything from them. Another student, or try to make contact with another student in any way whatsoever. So please refrain from doing these things in an exam location. All cell phones must be switched off during examination. If not, the head of examination will collect your answering sheet and you will not be allowed to complete the examination session. You may not leave the examination room during the first 30 minutes of the exam after it has started, or during the last 15 minutes of the examination session. A late arrival of 30 minutes will be regarded as a no turn up and you will not be allowed to write the specific exam. You are reminded that the question paper answering sheet answer book is the property of IOL. You may not keep it nor remove it from the exam hall. Under no circumstances may the question paper answer sheet book be removed from the exam room. All question papers and books in your possession must be handed over to the invigilator. Should you need additional paper, please request from the invigilator. Answers on any paper will not be considered for marking. Yeah, so please remain right on your script. That's the only official document that will be handed in for marking. RAFU may only be done on the question paper or paper provided by the invigilator. You must sign the checklist before leaving the exam room. Smoking, eating, prohibited. Do not dive into writing first reading without first reading. Please, we cannot overemphasize that. Make sure that you read before answering any paper. For questions with 20 marks, write at least 1.5 pages and more. Yeah, not half a page for 20 marks. Students fail to score good marks. It's just obvious. I mean, you cannot have 20 points allocated to some exam question and you give me 10 and expect to get 20. It's just not possible. So make sure that you write relevant facts and enough facts. Yeah. Now to the course outline. It is important to notice that I will not be discussing the whole the course itself in toto, but I will highlight the exit learning outcomes that comes with it. So you will find your scripts or the answers under these headings and subheadings. First exit learning outcome is discuss the theories of crime prevention. Under this, you will find crime prevention theory, crime pattern theories, identify the targets of crime prevention. Responsibility for crime prevention is partially shifted to actors, to private actors. Crime prevention strains informal social control. These are all the exit learning outcomes 1. Exit learning outcome 2, critically analyze the definitions and descriptions of crime prevention. Under that exit learning, you will find what is crime prevention, the definition, descriptions of crime prevention, the roles and functions of the crime prevention, and crime prevention is a critical part of policing. Crime prevention in Namibia, for example, under it you will find what are the causes of crime prevention in Namibia, preventive measures, why are these undertaken, why are preventive measures undertaken, the aids to crime prevention. For example, you will find private securities, electronic equipment like surveillance cameras, media, neighborhoods, etc. Your exit learning outcome 3, discuss crime prevention versus the criminal justice system. Basically the goal difference. The United Nations and crime prevention, what are the guidelines for crime prevention, how was it initially started and came into existence. International support for the guidelines on crime prevention adopted by the UN. Crime prevention is a lasting feature of the government. Is that because you'll find hugely that the government is at the helm of spearheading crime preventions usually. A permanent central authority in crime prevention, as I earlier alluded to, which is what is the role of government, the provincial governments, local authorities, what are their roles? The criminal justice system, the backbone of criminal justice system, the police, the prosecution authority, etc. The court, the judges, magistrates, and the defense lawyers that goes with it. Correctional services, their existence, crime prevention versus the criminal justice system. The criminal justice system is not always a solution. You need to know these differences. It's important. Crime prevention efforts are proactive. In what way are they proactive? What are they doing? Focus shifted from the offender to the victim and potential offender. Yes, you will also deal with that because the focus has been too long in the wrong areas. Now they are shifting it to the offender, to the victim and potential offender from the offender, because usually it is the offender that is looked at. So victims and potential offenders need to be looked at. Namibian courts, their operations, the mandates, what are they supposed to do, etc. And exit learning 4. Explain the crime prevention approaches and strategies, crime prevention program versus practice. Classifying crime prevention approaches. An example, there you find primary, secondary, and tertiary approaches, collective versus individualistic crime prevention, and then you find programs versus practice. Crime prevention emphasizes a problem-oriented approach. The dominant crime prevention approaches, social crime prevention and CPT, theories, assumptions, and underlying situational crime prevention. How local governments can control and prevent. That you need to know what measures are they putting to try and control and to prevent. Strategies of crime prevention, preventive patrol, which includes usually foot patrol, bicycle, vehicle, helicopter, etc. And then community policing in itself. Now your exit learning 5, outcome 5, identify the institutions through which crime prevention programs are delivered. These are collaboration with other institutions on crime prevention. For example, families, schools, labor markets, how do they fit in? The influence of police relations with the public, an example, relations with the police, relations with witnesses, relations with suspects. How do they do it? In conclusion, I would also want to give you a few tips, though many of these may have been mentioned earlier. I opted good to emphasize. Remember, one fact, you only get 1 mark. The framework of exam investigation requires that you know and understand all concepts, techniques. So please try and differentiate between these and know and understand them. Number your facts or use bullet points. Avoid dumping relevant, irrelevant facts simultaneously, because marker searching for the correct answer will not go your way. In example, running 20 facts instead of 10 may result in only first facts being looked at, of which you may have had the correct ones in the second 10 version, 11 to 20. So please make sure that you write the relevant information. Follow the instructions closely. Use your best handwriting, please. I know we're not all good writers, but we can try and write legibly. Short questions may be included in this, and I'm wishing you the best with your assignment and exam preparations. Remember, do not take anything for granted. Whatever you start, try and finish it. Others may not have the privilege of opportunity that you have. Thank you very much.